Hi everyone, my name is Zinita Masego. I am a business development officer at the Sibande College Rapid Incubator. Now joining me today are the incubatees that we have within the center. So these are the guys that the incubator is supporting for the next 3 years, just to ensure that, you know what, they have that person or that place that they can always go to for assistance with trainings, mentorship and coaching, developing business systems. So basically our service model, it's quite open, but then it continues to grow because as we are engaging with them, we come to realize that there's more that we still need to do for them. So in that regard, I still think that we're still gonna, we're still gonna just grow our product line. So in this case, earlier on we were discussing barriers to entry. Most of you guys are already in business. You are experiencing these challenges daily. Some of you guys were able to actually overcome those challenges. And for some of you, you are still facing them and trying to figure a way out on how you're going to maybe succeed. But then now, I know I've been working with Timothy as one of my incubatees, so I do understand the challenges that he has been facing. But then I would like him to actually share it with you guys in terms of barriers to entry. Timothy?
My name is Timothy Mtsweni. I'm a director of a company called Success Crivers, which manufactures pedal quadricycle as well as swing chairs. Now, the barriers that I faced is with the SABS. Because on the quadricycle, most guest houses and beachfronts, they demand that I must comply with the safety standards. Because most of the people are using the quadricycles, they really care for their safety and stuff. So I had to approach SAPS for them to allow me to assess my product and give me the compliance. But I've been taken from pillar to post, from post to pillar. First it was funding. I managed to get a funder, which is CEDA. The CEDA said that if everything is confirmed, then they're going to pay. But SABS, they taken me to TUT, VUT. They said I must make the prototype and take it to them with my own cost. Travel there. Then at the end of the day, to find out that their design institute is shutting down, now I need to get an external designer to help me improve my product. So with those things, I believe those red tapes that they put in place, they are keeping us from running our business smoothly.
So without, maybe for you, if you had the SAPS
Yes.
accreditation, what would it have changed in your business?
In my business, since I'm manufacturing quadricycle, the guest house, they want to order in bulks. So if I got that SAPS, by now I think I should be in mass production, producing more than 10 bikes or 20 bikes per week. But now with the compliance in place, compliance issue in place, I'm being pressed into a corner, limited. Now it's like I'm selling to individuals because like the bicycle shops and those big shops, they're quite interested in the product because the alternative product, they can only get it from China and in a higher price. So with me, I was more affordable, but the problem with the compliance now. Because the product from South Africa needs more compliance than the product from China.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate part. So I tried to push SABS.
So for how long is that process still dragging?
From 2017, I've been speaking to SAPS, sending them emails only for them to reply to my email after 4 weeks, just to tell me, oh, we haven't forgot about the case. Then I would wait for 3 months, then still go back and, okay, there was a time where I felt so frustrated. I was calling them every day and sending them emails every day. But still.
So that application is still pending?
It's still pending. Now I'm looking to get maybe a quality tester from a private company, then just for those guest houses to be sure how compliant my product is. Because SABSD.
And I know that the market that was actually looking to order from you, it's not just South African, but then it was your opportunity to export.
Yes. Zimbabwe got a client. He used to buy from me, but now with the SABS issue.
Okay.
Yeah, also in, what do they call that place? In Kenya, just forgot the name of that place in Kenya. There is a client who is quite interested and he wants to buy this product, but is worried about, do they comply with the safety regulations?
Regulations.
Okay. Yeah. Who assured
the safety of the product?
Just that certificate, just for my product to report. But now
it's very unfortunate. I do understand. I think I was a part of the process at some time, and it's a lengthy process. I think at times, as much as we are a business incubator, we are still to actually ensure that we maybe engage such service providers or such institutions to just make sure that as much as you guys are still developing a concept, you get to understand what is it they expect from you and prepare yourself in time. Unlike for you now that the market is there, but then and you are ready to actually supply that market, but then now there's just this barrier to entry, which is your certification.
I think I must also try to get everything right because I was actually looking into that, because now if I want to do the pledgings for estates and then complexes, they're going to require me to comply with the SAPS standard. So maybe I must learn from TVET and then try to sort out those issues before I get to that stage.
No, it is quite unfortunate that I know barriers to entry are not just maybe in terms of your accreditation or your certification, but they can be also with finances, being access to your financial institutions. I know maybe, fortunately for you guys, I think most of you've indicated earlier that you have funded your own businesses or someone close by has actually assisted with the funding. But then I know, Nkululeko, we've been engaged in this one in regards to your DFIs. Most DFIs, we do have incubators that would come in where we're assisting them to complete all of these application forms. And at times, by the time you get to understand what it is that they want, you find that now the processes have changed. So Nkululeko, as a business development officer, what has been maybe, when you look at it like maybe in a broad now, not just maybe only with the public sector, now going to private, have you ever been successful with assisting an incubatee to access funding?
Well, I have. Fortunately, like it mostly would be your DFIs. Do they assist with funding? Yes, they do assist with funding, and provided that you submit the documents, you've had that Buleng also the beneficiary of the government incentive schemes. But now I also do have a challenge, and in terms of the approach. I mean, I feel like as an incubator. If an incubatee is being incubated, they should be given a particular percentage that this allocation goes straight to incubators throughout the country. Okay. To make it easy for these entrepreneurs to access, not because of preference, but because they are part of a system that is there to build them. Now, one of the most critical things that I came across, I think it's Buleng or one of my clients. Even Buleng faced a similar challenge. That yes, now I'm here, I'm an incubatee. You help me with this, you help me with this. Yes, and it's working. I'm not lying. Now, based on your intervention you put in place, I might scale up. And me scaling up, meaning I need physical finances. She needs machinery worth 200,000. And she's part of she comes and cry for the right person who's the advisor, say, how do you guys intervene in terms of this? And as a non-financial funding institution, so we should be in a position to say, as much as we incubate, we should have a particular fund that we give to our entrepreneurs, even if in the form of a loan, in the form of seed capital, just to make their environment a bit simple. Some they lose they get a PO in any institution. They just need 15K to those kind of things. Those are the things that any incubator, not government, but any incubator, I feel that those things are very critical for the growth of entrepreneurs. So incubation should also look at the component of funding to say, okay, because these ones are within an incubation program, there is, and remember, as we are part of government, we are sitting here, we are attesting that government is working. The success of these entrepreneurs, as they've attested, is based on the intervention that is brought by government.
Sure.
But the very same intervention that help them grow, it limits them, it creates them a red tape. So within the very same system. Yeah, I'd say or an incubator develop a component that specializes with funding, source monies from your private sector to say, look, we are an incubator. Your enterprise and supply development programs, bring them in. We'll take that money and we'll develop the entrepreneurs on your behalf. You see that kind of platform, and we cannot at no time expect government to do these things alone. There's absolutely no way. But the private sector, where the money is, the private sector, you find that they've got a lot of EST programs, but they are not being implemented. That's why we come. Like for example, now we are here. You spoke about 50 mines that surrounds us. You spoke about Sasol. We spoke about Anglo. We spoke about Siriti. We can name them. That knows that there is an incubator that is funded by government. What we believe in order for them to, remember, they are also governed by the triple BE codes. But it's a must for them to do enterprise and supply development. And in terms of them, they go and look what they do. They go to Joburg and look for a company in Joburg to come and implement an enterprise and supply development program that can be implemented in-house within the province.
I think what you're saying is key. It goes back to bullying, where you actually raised a very important issue here to say that you'd find that I know right now you are also part of the enterprise development in Sasol.
Yes.
But then now you have a challenge that whenever Sasol wants a service provider for the same service that you are providing, they'd have to outsource is mainly from Joburg. I'm sorry, we're gonna use Joburg a lot. That's because that is like the closest one. It's like an hour away from where we are. So most of the suppliers that actually come into Mpumalanga would be from Johannesburg.
Yeah, so it's a very frustrating issue because now our request was just simple. I'm doing the same service. Maybe I haven't grown to that level that you can trust me. But then if you are bringing that provider from Joburg, let them transfer the skill. Let me partner with the company because we are doing the same. So let them do a proper cross-pollination to us. Make sure that we've got the skill and the accreditations. It's actually an issue because we also we wanted to expand. There are trainings that we should have been running by now, but because of the system that keeps changing to accredit providers, it becomes a problem. But then now, in a case where you have to deliver the service, they say you are local, we want to use you. But then now you're saying I'm going to outsource that service from that provider in partnership. They don't want to use you. They would rather bring the person to come and train you on something that you are actually specializing in then. So I'm getting frustrated. I sit in a class and then I will just argue with the instructor because really you are telling me something that I'd rather partner with me, let me leave that skill, make sure that I've got the accreditation when you leave me, and then you can go and do this. So I think that's something that needs to be looked into because it's something that can help us as small businesses to expand, to have those accreditations, to have those that skill.
What is the cost of accreditation?
It actually doesn't cost in the training. You don't pay any money to be accredited, but there are certain systems that needs to be in place. Like
that you pay for.
That you pay for. So, for instance, if I want to, I'm now in the process of applying for a rigging training accreditation.
Sure.
So for that, we've got the QMS system in place, which we were approved before. We're just developing that and making amendments where it's necessary. But then they will audit the QMS and they need to audit the workshop. So I need to set up the workshop. That's where I came to Nkule and said, but then I need like 250,000 rand. I need to put machines in there because they will never give me the accreditation if they don't see that this is how I'm going to do my
it must be fully equipped, your workshop.
Fully equipped, yes. That needs money. So it's always a case where will I now get the 250,000 to get the accreditation now? You see.
Just to come in on that critical part. And the approach is simple. The approach is private sector partner with public sector. The private sector, this regards that Puling is referring to, it's the same regard that's going to work for the
That's
private
going to
sector.
work for the
Sure.
company.
For the private sector. Now, at the end of the day, they need employees. It's a win-win situation. So if now we're not saying they must buy the equipment for pulling, they can donate the equipment for like sort of a shared facility. Even the next entrepreneur will come in and be able to utilize. Pulling will come in and be able to utilize. So now, but because we are expecting that government must do everything, it becomes then difficult. Government can do so much. Whilst private sector, we know that there are companies that run away with millions. With millions in terms of enterprise and supply development. And they don't even implement enterprise and supply development. Those are and we are speaking about development. And unfortunately, it will hit back to government. They must create
Who's calling them to
They must
account?
create development. But as we are discussing the issues of barrier to entry, we must not forget also the issue of it goes together with what I said earlier, white monopoly. That goes hand to hand. Because what that simply means, it simply means that if a white company is within a particular organization, it will be very difficult for a black company to go in and to compete in that space. To compete in that space just because based on the gender of their, based on the color of their skin.
Yes.
We know these things. Unfortunately, we work for government. When you approach this guys, those are the challenges that you find. They say, no, you guys know, you guys know. And I would not want to single out this issue of corruption. Corruption is a major contributing factor for us not being able to develop. Because people are so corrupt to a point whereby if it's developmental, they also want to know how do they personally benefit.
Yes, true.
It becomes
I think you have covered a lot there, and that is also maybe a topic for another day as well, because I know you guys are directly affected by corruption, by also like access to market due to the barriers that have been put in place. But then also I think with you guys, with the experience that you guys have already experienced, that runs for some years, but then there's also you here, Millicent, you have recently started. So maybe you can share your experience that now that you have just started. Now, have you actually encountered any challenges that would actually make you feel like, no, business is not for me? Or everything has been so smooth and much easier for you just because you started within an incubator?
To be exposed onto that, it's, for now, it's still going according. But at first, when I went through my business profile, I was kind of like, these shoes are too big for me. First of all, I'm a woman. I don't think I can be able to operate all of these things. And all thanks to the center, they told me not to worry because I will be getting business training and they will be mentoring me. So then, so far is not much the challenges. Yet I'm getting prepared for that because they are going to be part of my journey.
Sure. No, I think as much as we have covered all of the challenges, the setbacks, the throwbacks, just before we wrap up our show, I would like us to actually say, you know what, as much as it's hard at times, but then let's also motivate others to understand that, you know what, business, yes, it's hard. You have to be a risk taker. It demands a lot from you. But then what is the good that you'd want to put forward? What are your success stories? What can you like really point out and say, you know what, I have achieved this. It is possible. So maybe I'll just take it like right across the room up until Puleng. Timothy, I can start with you.
Yes, on my side. Starting as from being an employee to be a businessman. Yeah, yes, I'm a businessman.
Yes.
Okay. It became such an inspirational thing that I don't have to go and beg for my paycheck. I create my own paycheck.
Okay.
Even though sometimes it feels that hard, but it is not that hard. It's just how do you prioritize it? And
How did it
much-
feel when you got your first paycheck, like from you? Success
I felt
Cravers
guilty.
giving Timothy.
I felt guilty.
You felt guilty.
Yes, like, am I not broken? But only to realize, no, I was so proud. Like, yeah, I couldn't even sleep at night. I was like, wow, this is possible.
That was your success.
Yeah, this is possible. Yeah, I remember the time winning a competition from the center. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like On my way home,
Holding a check.
holding a check, like 30,000, like
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
It gave you more hope.
Wow, yeah, it gave me more motivation that I should every day wake up and build my dream. My dream won't be possible if I stand back and complain. I have to
You have
face
to.
the problem, then make it.
No, thank you for that one. Your side, when Tulani, what is your success, Nji?
Being an employee was different from being a businessman, because waking up in the morning as an employee was sometimes hard, thinking you're going to have to go to work for someone else and slave around for the whole day. But now being self-employed before being an entrepreneur, because that's how it starts out. And then now you get to realize that everything you're doing it for yourself. And then the other thing is being able to put food on somebody else's table is also an achievement for me, because now I know that when I sleep at night, if I eat, then maybe 1, 2, and 3 are also eating. So it's creating job opportunities, and then that's an achievement for me on its own.
You said you indicated that you have created at least 3 jobs, at least for now. No, thank you for that one. Millicent, you've recently started out, but I'm sure that you'd have something to share.
Okay, I've never worked before. Yes, so then from being an employee, I'm being an employer. So then it's such a wake-up call to young people out there that never underestimate who you are. Your dream is not asleep, you are the one who is asleep. So then it's empower young people, and together with women, that it's time for us to take up space and cement ourselves and allow the reign of independence to flow and fill the cracks of this world.
Nice one. As we wrap it up, I was pulling, why are the successes of City e-resources?
It's being in the CDE resources space, it's actually very exciting now when you see the fruits. I think recently this week I posted a status saying, you know that you are blessed when the fruits are starting to show. Yeah, as so to share the other, it was when we first got our primary accreditation. I was so happy. You know, when that email get in, say congratulations, then I screamed, yeah, we made it. And then there was a journey to begin. We needed now to start training people, and which we initially managed to get. When we got our first client, which is Bonteko, to do the training, it was another moment to celebrate. And then when we ventured into engineering, we were struggling to get the vendor with the mine. And then initially when that happened, that day, I'm telling you, I said, I'm knocking off early. I've done working. The vendor is here. Now we're a vendor with a vendor called Mine. That was something that is very exciting. And when we got our first biggest order, so, when you see that payment, you're thinking, must I change my movement or what? And then, it's very exciting. And then looking into the finances, 2019, 2020, I was like, okay, so is this what I'm doing now in the business? So it's actually very great. And employing more people, that is actually another breakthrough for us.
Thank you for sharing all of that. I think now, what I'm interested to find out, have you guys ever celebrated yourselves? Have you ever looked in the mirror and said, you know what, I've done well, well done?
And in fact, I wanted to go there. Based on what I'm picking up, you find that the entrepreneurs, they do not celebrate the small and the victories.
Sure.
And celebrating sometimes doesn't really mean you going out there buying a pizza, drinking booze, because just go and buy that particular perfume. Go and buy that particular ring, go and buy that particular product. That will be a constant reminder, because this is part of my success. At some point I was not able to afford this, but now I'm able to afford this. That will push you better. That will push you more to become a better person. Every time you overstep a hurdle, then what you do, you celebrate yourself. As entrepreneurs, you said when you've got that first order, it was the excitement. It's the same thing as an employee. When you receive that first check, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Is it really in my account? Is it really in my account? It's very important that entrepreneurs are able to celebrate themselves. And when you celebrate, you guys, you've got employees. Celebrate your successes with your employees.
It's through them as well.
It's through them. It's your hard work. In big organization, you'd normally find that the person who's being celebrated is the head, the CEO, and they forget about the people who are doing all the run arounds.
Sure.
You know, and the CEO will then understand, no, you are celebrating a wrong person. The people that might be celebrated, it's your employees. So that also keeps as a motivating
Yes.
factor to them. So it's very critical that entrepreneurs should learn how to celebrate themselves.
There's a few things maybe that you guys like to end with as just part of motivation or just concluding your story. Just one of you. Who want to just conclude everything in a nutshell and then...
What I would say, just start. Be ready for the journey. Then everything will just fall in place.
Sure.
Yeah, at the right time. Do not rush it. It will happen at the right time.
For you.
Yeah, you don't have to think that maybe the other companies already have achieved this and that. Then you are still having achieved even one.
Yeah.
No, just start. Then everything in the right time will fall in the right place. Then just push. Never stop pushing because without you pushing, there's no way your company will run.
Yeah. You know what I like, Timothy has covered, I think it was also a summary because he spoke about the concept that he started. He spoke about just the determination that you have to continuously have and also celebrating yourself. But most importantly, he spoke about pushing through the barriers to entry. I know some of you guys maybe would have started and your businesses wouldn't have actually succeeded this long if you didn't continue to persist and then just continue, to walk around with your head up high to say, okay, this door might be shut, but the next one might open. Because I know with most of you guys, it wasn't easy. It still isn't easy. As much as the money is coming in the bank, there's still continuous challenges that arise daily.
And it shouldn't be easy.
It shouldn't be because the sooner it's easy, the more easy it gets, you get relaxed.
But it is very.
They do fall into place. The more you push, they fall into place. Because I know the challenges you had last year, you do not have them this year. Your challenges have improved with the bank account.
Yeah, but as we conclude, Zinita, there's also two things that we normally push that makes an entrepreneur. One, how hard do you want to dream? Two, how hard are you willing to work for that particular dream? Those are the two most critical things. And if you are sitting at home, you want to start a business, just answer those two questions. That will be your driver, even if you want to give up. But remember, if you'll be failing yourself if you do not. You will be failing yourself, you're failing your dreams. So you must try by all means to push.
And I think we also need you guys. We also really, really need you guys to be supportive to their dream as well, be a part of it. Because earlier on, they actually shared the challenges that they have with their employees. So as much as, yes, we are saying that we are going to try to improve unemployment, but as much as they are trying to employ, you guys are not coming to the party.
It's very difficult to employ the unemployable.
Thank you for being such a great team. And keep on trying. We're going to be here as an incubator to continue assist. But in future, wherever you are, if you do not have access to an incubator, we do virtual incubation. You don't have to necessarily come to us, but we do come to you. So it is unfortunate maybe if you are far, but those who are in Mpumalanga, we do try to reach out just to ensure that we assist. So should you want any information, just please go to the GS College website, www.gscollege.edu.za. That is the website. And also on Facebook, you can find us on the Sibande Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator. Just share your thoughts. Maybe next time, share some topics and then we can discuss that. But for now, thank you.